Had the nightmare again. I am reminded of my first experience I had with a possible crawler when I lived in NC. I ended up begging my parents not to go outside and look. I had completely forgotten about this until I saw what I saw in 2016. I was 12 years old and heading downstairs to grab some water at about 12:30 am. Most nights, it just grabbed some water from the tap. I didn't need this, but that day it was particularly hot and dry. It's full summer. The air outside would be pleasant, and all the windows upstairs are open tonight. I live up against a small forest, and loved playing in during the daytime but always ran fast through it to get home in the evening, as it got dark very quickly in there. There was a natural creek that ran through the area and people could swim in certain parts if they wanted, but wasn't more than a few feet deep. I walk downstairs and grab a glass from the cabinet. I stare at the fridge as my glass fills up. I had this down to a science. About 9 seconds is all it took to fill it. I look to my right, across the kitchen, and into the dining room and then outside to our fenced-in patio. The perimeter light suddenly turned on, and my spine chilled and my goose fleshed. There, in the window, was a monster. It had been checking me out, very still as I waited for my glass to fill up. I wailed and dropped my glass, waking everyone but my little brother on the second floor. My stepfather and mother ran downstairs hurriedly, half naked but wanting to make sure I was okay. I yelled, very loudly. I had only caught the rear end of this thing as it left the porch, crawling on all fours, watched as it reached strangely long arms over the boards, pulled itself across the ground, through the chest-high fence opening and was away. Not to be seen again. I pointed to the door across the kitchen and told my parents, through a barely held together sentence, there was someone on the porch. They immediately went and looked. I begged them not to go outside. They didn't understand why they shouldn't. This thing was undoubtedly out there, waiting. In tears, holding them back, I told them, begged them no. Please don't go outside. When they saw how emotionally distraught I was, they asked me again what I saw. A very white person, crawling on all fours and naked. It was staring at me when I got water. They checked to make sure they had locked all the doors and latched the veranda-style doors shut. They consoled me upstairs, and my stepdad cleaned up the spilled glass of water. I distinctly remember them looking concerned, as if they knew about this, and they didn't ask me a lot of normal questions, like, was it someone we know, what did they look like? My stepdad slept on the couch that night and never really spoke about it again with me. I only remember seeing it once. But it's been a reoccurring nightmare ever since. I only started having it after I saw the thing in Capitol Forest in 2016.